Right, okay guys, so a while ago, and I do mean a while ago because I completely forgot about this, you might remember me saying that I was going to do a video about this device, the Miyoo Mini Plus. Well, like I say, I did forget about it. I've now remembered, so let's take a look. Right, so before we start, the eagle-eyed amongst you might realise that my little dog Molly is there, is sleeping in the background on her bed. She's out for the count. Right, let's kick this thing off, shall we? Now, I thought I'd do it this way round so that you guys could see the start-up. Is it just me, or does that seem a little bit out of focus? There we go, it's loading. That still looks out of focus to me. What's going on here? There we go, that's better. Right, so this is a menu you're greeted with. Now, I have seen videos where people have changed the software that they're running on here. And I've got to be honest, like what they're running actually does look better to look at. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to go with this. I might upgrade it at some point. But this is what you get with it. And I should point out, this came with a 128 gig SD card. And I paid £47 something, I forget the pence, and that's including postage, and that's off AliExpress, so I got a good deal with this. But of course, like I said, that was a little while ago now. Right, okay, so as you can see here, we've got recent, we've got favourite, we've got game, and we've got RetroArch, and then app and settings. Let's have a look at recent. And there you go, you can see the games I've been playing. Solar Striker, which, as you guys know, is one of my favourite Game Boy games. Empire Strikes Back on the Game Boy. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, the arcade game. 1944. Submarine Attack, which is a Master System game. Sonic Advance, and it goes on, you know, we're not going to go through them all. But what I thought we'd do is we could take a look at these, because there's quite an eclectic look of games here, like all from different systems. So let's have a look. Now, before we get on to that, I'm just going to go through the stats real quick, because I've actually got them here, as you can see on the box. So it supports an external micro SD card, battery life 7 to 8 hours, which is quite good. Whether that is the case or not is another thing. 3.5-inch IPS screen, full screen original resolution display, screen brightness adjustment. That's a load of rubbish, because every system has that pretty much. 3000 mAh rechargeable lithium battery, and it supports Wi-Fi online. So yeah, so there's your details there. I've got to be honest, I don't remember connecting the Wi-Fi, so I'm not sure if that's actually accurate. But like I say, we're going by what's on the box. And I've just realised this is very awkward to do. Tripod's kind of in the way here. Hang on, let me just adjust the microphone so that, there we go. Now it's off camera. This is very awkward to do, guys, just so you know. Right, let's have a look at Solar Striker. I think we might turn that down a little bit, because that is a bit loud. Right, now I'm going to apologise right now if my gameplay is terrible, but like I say, I'm leaning at a terrible angle. This is not a good way to play this game. Yeah, my gameplay looks horrendous at this point. In fact, I'm having difficulty trying to keep the screen in shot, because it's, like I say, it's just very uncomfortable leaning over like this. There we go, I've died already. And you're probably realising, like, when you look at the device, the screen, because this is not a big device, it's actually quite small. It lives up to the name, Miyoo Mini Plus. But it's nearly all screen, as you can see. In fact, I'll show you in a minute when I die. There we go, I've died. Right, so I'll show you the back. So you've got your trigger buttons here. So you've got two sets of trigger buttons. It's hard to tell on this because this is the see-through version, but you can get it in solid, like more solid colours. But you've got the triggers here, like 4 triggers, and one's slightly raised over the other. I don't think you can see that there. The inside one is higher so that you can tell which trigger you're pushing, which does help, but I would still say it's quite an awkward. Put it this way, I've seen people play it where they're able to use the middle of their finger here to push the outer trigger and then this bit for the middle. I can't do that. My fingers are too big. It doesn't work. So, but anyway, so let's go back. Let's go and have a look at something else. So that's a Game Boy game down. What can we look at here? Right, let's have a look at Submarine Attack. Oh, I pushed the wrong button, typical. I'll be honest, I do really like the screen on this. I think the screen is really good. I mean, look at the screen. Like, I don't know how well it's coming out on camera, but it's superb to look at when you're looking at it in person. And like I say, it's a real big screen, you know. Right, just saying now, this is a hard game anyway, let alone trying to play this at this angle. It's very difficult. And I'm, like I say, I'm trying to keep it on the screen so you guys can see it. It's very difficult. I'll try and concentrate less on my gameplay and more on what you guys can see, I think, because otherwise you're not really going to get a good feel of what this is like. So it's a very nice screen. Even the sound, I've actually had to turn this down because it is really loud. Like, if you play it at full volume, like, you probably would have difficulty hearing me. Although I've got to be honest, I am wearing like a clip-on mic, so I don't know how well you're hearing the volume, if I'm honest. Let's turn it up a little bit. Right, okay, let's have another go, because you probably didn't see that very well. Like I say, my gameplay on here is not very good at this point. I'm not making excuses. I am assuring you that I do play this game much better than this when it's not like this. Although I might add, though, that this game is a hard game anyway, so it's not an easy game to play, I've got to be honest. And you can see here I'm using 2 buttons at the same time, so it's quite easy to be able to use one thumb to push both. So, you know, it's not difficult the way the buttons are set out either. So I didn't really go through the button layout other than the back ones because I didn't really see much point. You know, you got your start and select, and then your normal 4 buttons on the front, and your adjustment for the screen. So there's not really much point. I'm gonna die. Right, okay, let's go out. Go back to the menu. Now, let's have a look at something that's a little more demanding. Right, so I'm just going to run through this beginning part because this is obviously like video and I want to see how well the system runs this. And we are actually looking at PlayStation 1 here. And at the moment, this looks pretty good. There's not many of these devices that can handle this. This is quite impressive actually, even the sound is pretty good. No slowdown, no glitching. And as you might have realised, guys, by looking, this is Tekken 3. Quite a demanding game on the PS1. It's playing the video really well. Right, let's go into it. Right, let's have a look and see how well it plays, shall we? Go into arcade mode. Got to go with my boy, Law. As you know, guys, I'm a big Bruce Lee fan, so it's going to be Law, isn't it? Screen looks absolutely fantastic. Right, I'm not going to play brilliant here, as you know, guys, like I've already said, but we'll do our best. It looks great, and I've got to be honest, there's no slowdown, no glitching, no problems. It seems to be playing perfectly well. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. There might be a slight fuzzing maybe to the sound, I think. Maybe. Oh, I've just noticed the trigger buttons are not doing anything, so it's not set up very well. Because I should add, these games are all games that came with the system. I've not put anything on this. But yeah, the triggers aren't set up, which is a bit of a problem, because obviously you should have more buttons than just 4 buttons. Right, yeah, I'm impressed with this. Right, let's have a look at something else. Right, let's go with something a little bit more demanding, guys, shall we? Now, I've had to turn the volume down on this because I will get a copyright for this. So I've turned it down so that that doesn't happen, which is a shame, because that would be a clear indication as to whether this game's playing up or not. Alright, you see Signosis might give it away a little bit, that. It is a PS1 game. And then you got the font, again, another giveaway. If you know your games, you're going to know what this is, guys. Screen, again, looks fantastic with this game. Let's just pick anything. And yes, it is wipeout free, guys. Right, now let's have a look. So far, so good. It doesn't look bad. Graphics look alright. Doesn't appear to be any glitching. So it controls fine. Ah, yes, I can see a problem already. We've got slowdown, because this should definitely be going faster than this. This is way slower than it should be. I should add, trying to play this through the viewfinder is really difficult. Yeah, this should be running faster, so we found a problem. Now, if I had the music up, we'd probably be able to tell by the music, because it'd be crackling up, running really slow. But like I say, I've had to turn it off because you will get a copyright, because Wipeout's one of the worst games for that. So, yeah, unfortunately, this will not run Wipeout. But as we've already seen, it will run Tekken, so it will run some PlayStation stuff, just not the more demanding stuff. And this is why I've put Wipeout on, because I know this is a demanding game, and if anything was going to trip this system up, it would be this game, and it has. So, but this is good, because the Power Kitty V90 doesn't really run anything PlayStation, if I'm honest, and that's around the same sort of price point as this. So this is a pretty good device, you know, the fact that it will even run Tekken. So it's just the high-end stuff it won't run. I'm impressed. Right, let's look at something else. Right, here we go. Now we're going with something that is a little demanding here. And that is an arcade classic. Let's get me continue sorted. Right. Here we go. Yep, you might be able to tell from the sound and the voice there. Yes, this is Dodonpachi, one of my favourite games. I've got to be honest, one of the problems with this though is where it's a small screen, playing it with this, you know, this is where you need the old Tato configuration, yeah? Like, this is, it's kind of difficult to see what you're doing, especially when I'm playing at this angle. But as you can see, it's playing perfectly well. Sounds really good as well. The colours on the screen for this are amazing. I don't know how well they're coming out on camera, but they are really good. Don't expect my gameplay to be as good as normal here, guys, because it really won't be. But yeah, you get the idea anyway. Like, it looks fantastic. And this is quite a demanding game, so the fact that this is working is real good. I'm going to be playing this more later. I'll tell you, I love this game. Such a good game. Right, let's have a look at the menus, because we've not really done that yet. Right, so as I said at the start of the video, we've got recent now. We already know what that is. Favourite, obvious what that is, really. I don't need to tell you. And then we've got game. I'm just trying to get this camera to focus. There we go. So we're going to game. And here we've got all the different systems. So we've got Famicom, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Mega Drive, Super Famicom, PlayStation, Master System, and I believe that's the Wonder Swan. Obviously, Famicom is also NES. Super Famicom is also Super NES. Come on to the next screen. PC Engine, Neo Geo Pocket, Atari 2600, 7800, Arcade, FBM. Okay. Then we've got FF Play, whatever that is. MAME, which is another arcade emulator. MAME Plus, Neo Geo, Pico Drive, and SMS Plus. So that's what we've got on here. I am intrigued to know, hang on, what is FBM? Okay. It's got a load of games in here anyway, but I'll have to have a look at that at some point. So yeah, that's what we get with it anyway. These are all the different systems, and there's a lot of games on here. I mean, for example, if we take a look at Neo Geo Pocket, just in Neo Geo Pocket alone, we've got 38 ROMs in there. So there's a few. Let's have a look at Mega Drive, for example. Let's see how many we've got on out. I dare say there's a few. 3,819. I'd imagine that some of these have got to be on there several times. But yeah, there's a lot of games on here anyway. So yeah, I just thought I'd round off the video with that. I mean, this is impressive. And when you consider what I paid for this, I mean, the price of this is almost the same as what I paid for my Power Kiddie V90. And you know how much I love that system. But this is way bigger because you're getting a bigger screen. It's much more colourful. It can run more because it can run some PlayStation, just not the really high demanding stuff. So I think that's your limit. When you get to PlayStation, some will run, some won't. Depends how demanding it is. But, you know, this is impressive for what you're paying. And it is clearly more capable than the Power Kiddie V90. So if you're on the fence about buying this system, I mean, for the price, it's well worth it. It will run some PS1, but not all of it. The high-end stuff, it'll have a problem. But for the price, I think that's really good. Because if you want something that will run that, I mean, you're then talking like over £100. So, you know, this is good for what it does. And it's a nice looking system. You know, the form factor of it is really nice. It's good in the hand. You know, it's not too bulky, but also not too small. It's a very nice system. And I definitely like this colour, the see-through purple. It's very nice. Although, one thing I will say is it's sometimes difficult to see the buttons, like, because obviously they're very small. Like the power button here is tiny. Same as the volume buttons here. And even the triggers, you know, when I'm trying to show you this on video, it doesn't show up great, but it's a lovely system. It's really nice. So if you're on the fence, guys, like, all I'd say is, you know, grab it. Like, and I should also point out the buttons as well. The buttons are nice as well. Not too much travel. They're not too spongy. They're what you'd expect. You know, for a quality item, they're what you'd expect. So, yeah, if you're after an emulator that can run most PS1, but not the high-end stuff, and you don't want to pay a lot of money, this is the perfect item for you. I would get one. So, yeah, this is great. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. And until next time, take care, stay safe. Nerdy Geezer out.